All right, welcome to the last video. So we're going to talk about some special cases for multiplying binomials, um, and we're going to talk about some of the patterns that we might notice. So in the first one, we have x plus 4 times x plus 4, and if we were to multiply using first, outside, inside, last, or a table, you're going to end up with x squared plus 4x plus 4x plus 16. So we have x squared plus 8x plus 16. I know I went through that kind of quick. Okay, now let's do the same thing for the second one. Remember, this squared is not allowed to be distributed in. This actually means y minus 2 times y minus 2. First, outside, inside, last, I get y squared minus 2y minus 2y plus 4. So I have y squared minus 4y plus 4. Okay, and the last one, first, outside, inside, last, or a table, I have 9z squared plus 3z plus 3z plus 1. So I have 9z squared plus 6z plus 1. Okay, so there's a reason I'm able to do those so quickly, and it's because of this pattern we're going to talk about. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video, and I want you to look at these three problems and see if you notice a pattern between them. So go ahead and pause the video. When you come back, the answer will be here. All right, so hopefully the pattern you noticed was that we square the first term, we square the last term, and then we multiply the terms together and double it. So I square the first term, that's x, to get x squared. I square the last term of 4 to get 16. I multiply these two together to get 4x, and I double it to get my middle term. So first we said square the first term, square the last term, multiply the two terms together, and double them. Okay, so this is kind of a trick anytime you're multiplying the same binomial twice. And guys, if you don't remember the pattern, you still know how to solve the problem. It's okay. The pattern just makes it faster if you do get comfortable recognizing it. All right, so now let's talk about this next set of problems. Let's first multiply them out like we did before. We'll talk about what pattern we notice. So first inside, or first outside, inside, last. If I foiled it, wow, words, foil it or make a table, I have x squared minus 9x plus 9x minus 81. And guess what? My 9x's go away because positive and negative cancel out, and I'm just left with x squared minus 81. Let's see what happens on the next one. X squared plus 15x minus 15x minus 225. Again, my center terms cancel out. I'm left with x squared minus 225. And I bet you can guess what's going to happen on the next one. I have 6x cubed and 6x cubed. That's 36x to the 6th. I have positive 7 and negative 7, so it's minus 49. I didn't have to show all my work because I figured it was probably going to follow the same pattern. And I hope the pattern we figured out, actually, I don't want to tell you yet. Again, pause the video, think about the pattern, and when you come back, we'll talk about it. Okay, so the pattern that I hope you noticed was that whenever we have a binomial or two binomials that are the exact same except for their signs, the middle term will always, always, always cancel out. Okay, so we call this a difference of squares because difference meaning subtraction, and then squares meaning it's squared, but they're not exactly the same. So when, oh wow, I don't need a line here, I need a pen. When multiplying I think I spelled that wrong, but let's keep going. When multiplying binomials with the same terms but different signs, the middle term cancels out. So go ahead and write that down. And while you're writing, I'm just going to reference the table that we have at the bottom. So we talked about the sum pattern and the difference of squares. And then we also kind of indirectly talked about the difference patterns. So the patterns are written here for you. But again, if you can't remember the patterns, that is totally okay because you still know how to solve the problems. It's just going to make it faster if you do pick up on the patterns. All right? Cool beans. So that concludes the videos for today's notes. What I want you to do is I want you to take the formative, which is the next step of the must-dos, and then you may move on to the may-dos when you are ready. Make sure that you have all of the notes that we talked about today filled in. And if you didn't fill them in, you're going to have to go back and watch all of the videos because I will be checking next class to make sure that you have it all completed. And I will also be checking your homework next class as well. Okay? All right, guys, have a good day. Behave, do what I ask you to do, and don't distract those around you unless you're working on something collaboratively. All right, have a good rest of your day.